18 months.
Joining us now to react, Iowa Congresswoman Ashley Hinson, along with Iowa's Doge Task Force Chairwoman Emily Schmitt. Let's go ahead and start with you, Congresswoman. Obviously, tremendous strides have been made in Iowa, and so you've got a track record here that's really impressive. How do you get this message across party lines? Because you've got the Democrats fighting so hard against cutting waste. It's almost comical and difficult to believe.
Yeah, it is comical, and we have a great story to tell in Iowa, which is why I continue to be shocked that they want to push back against some of these things that Doge has found. We have, again, that success story. You highlighted those numbers, $217 million in 18 months, thanks to the leadership of Governor Kim Reynolds. So it's been my goal, working here in Washington, D.C., to make Washington work a lot more like Iowa, which is why I decided to bring Emily to help us tell that story.
Emily, what are you trying to achieve? I mean, you do have a great governor. You got a great congresswoman right next to you. It looks like the two of you are related. But nevertheless, what are you trying to do to actually accomplish? Because Iowa's having some success, and you're just right clean out of the chutes.
Well, on our manufacturing floor, this is what we do every day. We go out there and we try to improve it. And why should we accept that government shouldn't be efficient? And that's something that we know how to take action in Iowa. We know how to get things done, and we're starting ahead because we have a surplus and able to reduce taxes. So now it's the refinements, and we really want the Iowans to feel the efficiency gains, because when you engage in government, it shouldn't be that hard.
And Congresswoman, you are introducing the Swamp Act. You want to get essentially drain the swamp and bring some of those agencies out of Washington, D.C., because that's where some of the collusion goes on, and maybe it could be a little bit more streamlined if they weren't located there. One of them might be the Department of Agriculture.
Yes. Our whole goal is to make government work better for the people, smaller and smarter government. And so when you look at the wasted space, the bureaucracy that's built up out here in Washington, D.C., Doge is tackling a lot of those things. But we know many of the bureaucrats who are working out here have never stepped foot on, let's say, a family farm in a state like Iowa. And so what we want to do is make sure we're decentralizing government with strategic withdrawals of those agencies, putting them where they're best going to serve the people. So, of course, I would love to have the Department of Agriculture in Iowa. Maybe it makes sense to have Department of Interior out west, where there's a lot of federal land. But again, where these agencies can best serve the people that they are working with every single day. The farmers of Iowa certainly would be better served by having a bureaucrat who actually knows and understands what it's like to put a seed in the ground and then raise that crop and harvest it from start to finish.
Yeah, imagine having a neighbor who actually does this for a living and understands how and where their food is made. That'd be a little different than, living in Alexandria, with all due respect. Emily, your first joint address of Congress, right? First time you've been able to sit in and listen to this. What do you hope for? Like, what's your anticipation of what's going to happen tonight? Because the president's going to be speaking in a fairly short amount of time.
Well, I think he'll be speaking in a short amount of time, but it's probably going to take a long speech, and I'm very honored to be Congresswoman's guest. And just the excitement that you just feel in the halls. I've been surprised of just how much people want to hear about the state Doge level efforts, and how they are very open and excited to get common sense initiatives done. And we can do it in Iowa, and Congresswoman Hinson and our team will be bringing it to D.C. and just getting that excitement going and get some work done after.
Congresswoman, I want to come back to you, because tonight's a really important night for the president. The Democrats are going to try to, raise a commotion. They're going to bring people who've been fired as a result of some of the Doge cuts, which many of the American people voted for. He's going to talk about the progress that he's made, the president, at our southern border, and how he's holding other countries to task to make sure that illegals are not coming into this country, fentanyl is not coming over the border. He's also making, despite what happened on Friday with President Zelensky of Ukraine, he is making strides towards a peace deal when it comes to ending that war. And so he's got a lot to talk about with respect to accomplishment in the short time that he's been in office.
Yeah, we're 43 days into this administration, and I think that people are quick to pick out one moment in time. But I always think President Trump is playing chess, not checkers. So I love to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I think the American people, that's why they hired him to do this job. That's why they hired me and a Republican Congress to do this job, because they want change. And frankly, we can't afford not to make these changes. We're $36 trillion in debt. We're both moms. Mine are 14 and 12, my boys. And I think about what is at stake for them with the future of our country. You mentioned the global conflicts and trying to settle those around the world. We need to be respected on the global stage, but I certainly don't want to see American sons and daughters sent off into these foreign wars. So I believe in America first, and I think the president is following through on that for the American people, and I'm excited to hear him talk about the agenda that's still left. 43 days in, and look at what we've done. That's what some presidents have accomplished in 4 years.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Thank you, Congresswoman Ashley Hinson, the great state of Iowa, and her guest, Emily Schmitt, working on Doge efforts there in Iowa and having great success, Jackie. This is what's exciting.
Amazing.
It's